Hi everyone. Today we want to take a few minutes just to share what our budget looks like and what it actually costs to go overseas and to serve in an international capacity.
Yep, that's right. We want it to be as transparent as possible. So we have our actual working budget that we have gotten both from RVA and from our sending agency, World Venture. And we thought today we would just share with you what it looks like, what we're working with, and yeah, just show you what we see.
Some of the line items are things that you'll definitely recognize, especially if you're one of those types of people who like looking at spreadsheets and details and all those kinds of things. Um, so what we're going to do is you'll be able to see our spreadsheet up on the screen. And then as we kind of go through some of the line items, we'll put it up there so it's a little bit easier for you guys to follow along. So shall we jump in?
Let's do it. All right. First up on the budget, first line item is housing rental. We got this straight from RVA. You can see that there's a price in shillings, Kenya shillings, KES, but we've broken it down to US dollar to keep it a little bit more simple. Also, the majority of our funding is coming from the US, so US dollars just make sense. But housing rental, something that we have been asked a little bit is why are we paying rent when we are working as dorm parents? And RVA does that so that they can keep the cost for students as low as possible. And it's the working budget that they have. And so we're honored to be there. And we are doing what all of the other staff members are doing, uh, paying rent. Second one, I'm just gonna like swoop in there and just take all of these.
Go for it.
Second one is food. Actually, I'm gonna pause really quick. If you notice on our monthly budget, anything that is in pink is a fee that we got straight from RVA. So it's mandatory, it's kind of set in stone. There's not really any wiggle room as far as what this costs. Anything that is yellow, same thing, but it's coming straight from World Venture. So we don't really get any choice in that. It's being set from our agency. And then anything that is white is just things that we don't necessarily have to have, but we would like to have, like food.
Food's good. Food's
Food would
good.
be nice. So, but that is our line item. And what we have included in there is not only our family of three, but also food for our dorm students. We would like to have students at our home most days of the week. It also includes a little bit of a budget for families coming through, parents coming through, wanting to see their kids at school. And so we do have a pretty high food budget, and that is why.
So the way it works is the students have a cafeteria that they go to every day. And so for most of, or pretty much all their meals, they can go breakfast, lunch, dinner, and do that. And food is provided as part of their tuition. They also get healthcare, um, general healthcare, and room and board, and all of that included in school fees. We'll talk about that a little bit later when we get down to that. But I just wanted to kind of go expand on what Tina had said. And so what we want to do is in kind of smaller groups of maybe 4 or 5 students at a time, because we're going to have 30 boys. Like
Yeah,
that's a lot of high
it's a
school
wonderful number.
high school boys. Most likely sophomore high school boys.
Yep.
So you can imagine if you're thinking like here's a table and there's like the three of us, but then there's 30 more of them. That's a lot. That's a
Yeah.
lot of food. So anyway, that is kind of what we're talking about. So, every week have kind of a little bit more time, kind of one on one, and give a little bit more of a home feeling to the kids and give each of them some more kind of one on one time where we can get to know them a little bit better
Smaller
that
group.
way. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we think
So
that's kind of
yeah,
important. So,
that's something that we would like to do. It's not a requirement from RVA. We do not have to let dorm students come into our house and eat with us, but it's something that is really, really important to us. We want to create a space that feels like a home, not just a dorm. And so, but that is our choice. And so that is a white line item because it's something that we're wanting to do.
cool.
Water and electric both very boring, also very set in stone. That's we got straight from RVA. Cell phones,
Cell phones. Yep.
it's not a requirement. It is something we would like to have. We did just recently get our phones that are here in the US unlocked so that we can take them with us over to Kenya. So that was a wonderful 2 hours spent at Verizon getting that all set up. But that's going to be important. That and internet both. I'm skipping ahead one. Cell phones and internet are going to help us not only communicating with you and with our family back in the States, but also all of the parents of our dorm kids that we would like to give updates and just make sure that they know how their kids are doing. So we will use those as tools as we are working over there as dorm parents.
Everything that goes into our house or our home is we're responsible for that. And then as the years go on, we will be moving around to different houses and all of this, and we take everything with us. And so, because some people might be coming out to Africa for the first time, how we're going back, we're in the old days, we'd have to take a shipping container and take all these different things with us. But in the last probably about 10 years or so, there's been quite a great expanse in the middle class. And what that has allowed for is a lot more companies importing products and different things. And so there is a lot more things available now. So if you have supported missionaries in the past, a lot of times that wasn't really an option. And so it's a blessing that that is an option. And so what RVA has allowed for some of us to do is be able to rent pieces of furniture so that it can just be there and set up and you can get going. And then once you arrive, you can take your time and figure out what you need and then be able to kind of purchase those pieces of furniture and those different items that you feel are going to be necessary for however it is that you want to set up your home.
Mm-hmm. So the dorm comes with bunk beds for the students, but our little apartment that's attached to the dorm is completely empty. So we provide our own appliances, furniture, household items, everything from plates and spoons and cups to blankets, everything. It is a blank slate. And so I don't think that furniture rental will be on our as a line item forever and ever and ever. But that is a rough estimate of what RVA is guessing a family of three could rent household items for. And then as we're there and as we're able to buy things in the capital city of Nairobi and bring it back to our house, that line item will just get smaller and smaller as we're able to actually buy our own furniture, our own appliances, things like that. But we just don't really know what is available going in and exactly what we will find and how long it will take to ship up to Kijabi. So for the first few months at least, if that's going to be, we're going to need to rely on furniture rental. So yeah. Lines, the
Tuition.
the next line is RVA tuition. And this is going to be for our son. This is his school fees. And yeah. He is starting out at elementary, so it will grow a little bit as he progresses in grades. It will go up a little bit, but that's what we're looking at for the first year.
Yep.
The second or the next two, there's a student travel fee that's required by RVA. That's anything from him needing to go into Nairobi for the embassy to get paperwork done. I'm not honestly sure. It's just a fee that's required by RVA, and they use it for miscellaneous things for students. And then the one below that is the Kijabi Forest fee. That's also a required fee. RVA is set in the middle of the Kijabi Forest. And in the past, this forest has been depleted, it has been misused, it has been just really trampled upon. And so there have been agencies and nonprofits that have gone in and talked to the Kenyan government and said, hey, we really need some conservation. And so RVA's way of helping out is to have all of the students pay a fee, all of the families pay a fee, and this goes back into the Kijabi Forest to try to help keep our surrounding areas and trees looking good. And it's a required fee, but we are also very, very happy to do it.
Yeah. RVA is built on one of the walls of the Rift Valley. So it's literally a valley. And it's about 1,500 feet, no, probably more than that, from the top to the bottom. And RVA is kind of in the middle. And so other than our playing fields, our rugby fields, and the buildings, you're either going uphill or you're going downhill. And so I think it was maybe 8 years ago, something like that. a number of years ago. I don't remember. I have to look it up. But the there was rains that came, and because there wasn't enough of the forest to break up the water, it caused a flood and flooded the whole area and caused a lot of damage. And so it's something that has actually had negative outcomes that everybody could see, and so we're trying to prevent that as much as possible.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The next one, Kenya visa fees. So we are going to Kenya and we will be guests in that country. And we want to follow all of the rules and we will have a visa the entire time that we are there, all three of us. So this allows us to be in the country as US citizens living over there. Our residency will change to Kenya, but our citizenship will remain US. And so we will have visas, and the next one I believe is work permits, and that allows us to be in the country and work. So 3 visas and 2 work permits.
Now, our work permits are under a nonprofit organization, and so all of the money needs to come in from outside of the country. That's part of how our work permits are set up. And so when we say that we're volunteer workers, that is what we mean by that. So all of our funding has to come from outside of the country in order for us to serve the communities inside the country.
Mm-hmm. Yep. A couple of fun ones that do not have any coloring, just the white blank line items. Transportation into Nairobi. NBO is short for Nairobi. We are about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on weather and road conditions, away from the closest city, the capital city of Nairobi, which is where we will get the majority of our groceries. And so, talking to other dorm parents, most people go into the city about once every 2 weeks to restock supplies. We can get a limited amount of maybe some basic staples, maybe a little bit of vegetables in Kijabi proper from some of the gardens there, which we are very excited about. But the majority of our food is going to come from Nairobi. And so, because we are, if you notice, this budget does not include a vehicle. So, for the first little while, we're just going to rely on transportation to take us into Nairobi. And so, that's what that line item is, making sure that we have enough money to travel into Nairobi, get a ride share, get into Nairobi, get food, supplies once every 2 weeks. The next one is dorm worker salaries. And this is another one that we got information from other staff members that are currently living at RVA. Some of this includes landscaping and just people that are helping out on campus. And we all kind of collectively chip in and help pay some of their salaries. And then the next one we touched on a little bit, hospitality and parent hosting. In addition to food, sometimes it will be people coming in from the airport. And so we'll need to, again, go into Nairobi and help them get up to Kijabi. But we also want to be a welcoming space for all of the parents who want to come and visit their students. And so we want to make sure we have enough in our budget to allow us to help with that, as well as any of you who might want to come and visit. Hospitality is something that's really important to us. We would love to just be hosting people and sharing, what the Lord is doing at RVA and in our family and in the dorm. So we want to make sure that we have enough in our budget to be able to host people. So you'll notice there's also a line item for miscellaneous or adjustment for exchange rate. Specifically, the exchange rate. This is something that both Nathan's family and my family have experienced several different times living overseas. As world politics change, as inflation takes over, exchange rates change constantly. And if there is a big enough dip in the exchange rate, it really, really affects how much money we have to spend things for food and for gas and for things like that. And so we want to make sure that we are prepared. There's a small little fund that is kind of covering us so that if the exchange rate dips too far, we still have enough in our budget to eat and and cook for other people too. So the next bulk line items are all in yellow, if you see, and these are required from World Venture, our sending agency here in the States, and we have gotten these numbers straight from them. So retirement, life insurance, health insurance. Those are all numbers that we got straight from our agency, and this is what they are saying we need in order to go.
It's kind of like if you're a teacher, it's kind of like your government insurance. You don't really have an option. There's not a lot of options, and this is the agency that we're with, and so that's what is provided to us. So that's what those numbers are. Now, right under there, you're going to see the next one is evacuation insurance, and probably a lot of people don't have evacuation insurance, but that's something that you need when you're working overseas. And so, if something happens, we have a third party organization that, irregardless of what the situation is, if you need evacuation, they're able to get in and get you out of whatever situation that is. And Tina's family has experienced and needed that service in the past. And so that's something that is, it's a requirement, but it's something that a lot of people might not have ever thought of needing growing up in America.
Yeah. Something you don't know you need until all of a sudden you need it. When my family was in Rwanda and my dad got shot, we needed evacuation insurance to get him out and get him to a hospital and also get all of the rest of us out safely with a war going on. So that might be a conversation for a different video, but definitely I know firsthand that evacuation insurance is necessary. So there's a couple other items that also came straight from World Venture. Something I did want to touch on is overseas travel. If you notice, this is all our monthly budget. This does not include plane tickets or anything that we need to get us out to Kenya. But we do want to have a line item, it's a required line item, to allow us to come back to the States eventually. So there's a little bit of money going into a fund to allow us to have plane tickets. World Venture requires, I think, every 3 or 4 years we come back. And we want to come back and visit and say hi to you guys, but also come back for training and debriefing. And so there's a line item in there to help us save for international flights to come back to the States. There is self-employment tax, something super fun. We are going to be 1099 with World Venture. We're going to be independent contractors, and so we will pay quarterly self-employment tax here in the States. We will also be paying Kenya tax because we will be in that country as a guest. So that's just one of the wonderful things about working internationally is that you do pay a lot of tax. And then the last one is World Venture is our sending agency. They do take a fee, and they use that for all of their administration costs and for salaries here in the States. Again, everything that is in yellow was given to us. So we don't really have any wiggle room. We don't have any wiggle room with anything that is in pink because that's coming from RVA. And so this is the system that we are working with and some of the numbers that we have been given.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for your time, and hopefully that gives you a little bit more understanding of kind of the situation, at least the financial situation of what it takes to be a missionary overseas and work overseas. And yeah.
We want to say thank you guys for all of your questions, for your support, for just advice. And if you have any questions on any of the stuff that we have been talking about, if you want to pause the screen and zoom in and then ask us some questions, put it in the comments. We're very happy to share. If we know the answer, we'll tell you. If we don't know the answer, we will find someone more more intelligent than us to get the answer. But we just want to be as transparent as possible. We fully understand that this is God's money, but it is also money that you are sharing with us to get us over there. And so we want to collectively take you as our community to Kenya with us. And part of that is talking about not super fun things like money. But we are so very grateful and honored to do this. And we want to be just as transparent as possible.
Thank you guys for your time. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to comment down at the bottom, reach out to us. We love hearing from you. And again, thank you so much for joining us in our journey.
Yep. See you next time.